Hello everybody, I hope everybody's doing okay. This is Mr. Kampret. For those who've seen my previous video, at that time, I was staying at the Shangri-la Hotel and I was waiting for the result of my PCR test. The swab was taken about 9:30 in the morning. At 11 in the evening, I still did not get a result, so I called to the front desk. They told me they did not yet have the result, but they would call me as soon as they had it. A little after 12 midnight, I was called that the PCR came back negative and that the government quarantine letter, or was there at reception, and that I could check out when I wanted. So that's good. Here you have the quarantine clearance letter from the government. PCR negative, very good. I removed some parts that are, identifying some QR code that might give a bit too much information, but this is how, the clearance letter looks. At about, 5 o'clock in the morning, I checked out. I went downstairs. I was allowed to use the main lobby this time, not like when I checked in via the side entrance. Everything went very smoothly. They charged the credit card for the final amount, which was just the basic package. Everything went really smooth. I got my passport back, which of course, like I said before, they kept until you checked out. I got this letter. I asked whether this was good enough for, checking in for travel via plane. They said yes, but they said, listen, if you want, we can print out the underlying PCR results. And I said, yes, please, just to be on the safe side, in case that there's some kind of hiccup at the airport. In the end, I didn't need the PCR, the original result, but this letter was good enough to check in and fly. I had it validated at the airport, as is required in Indonesia at the moment. That's the validation letter from the airport, Soekarno-Hatta. My advice is make sure you're on time at the airport to allow for waiting and for having results validated. It was quite busy, but everything went fine. I flew to Yogyakarta. Once I was in the kampung, I WhatsApped the Kepala Kampung and I sent this letter to him. He will pass it on to the Puskesmas. That's the health authority. And I was instructed to home quarantine for another 5 days. That's no problem for me. I was already planning on quarantining until Friday, and this just means I have to quarantine until Thursday. Now, whether that's a universal requirement in Indonesia, I don't know. I don't believe so, because I've heard from people who checked out, they had this, and that was it, and they just went on their travels. For me, it's, it is what it is. The Kepala Kampung asked me to do so, and I will follow his instructions. Because, I'm a guest in Indonesia, and it's a little thing to ask, and it's not a real inconvenience to me. So on Thursday, I'm still planning on doing one more test when I exit quarantine, home quarantine. So in the morning, I will go to Siloam Hospital here in Yogyakarta. And if that result comes back negative, then I'm going to just move about. Of course, in keeping with the regulations in force in Indonesia and in Yogyakarta at this time. That's obvious. So overall, I'm really happy with my stay at the Hotel Shangri-La. I would certainly stay there again, hopefully as just a normal guest and not staying in a quarantine package, because it is nice to be able to leave your room when you want to. I will let everybody know uh, when I leave quarantine, and I will show a little bit of how the PCR testing and testing in general goes at Siloam Hospital in Yogyakarta. So people who want to know more about that will have some more info. Everyone, best wishes, and I'll see you guys later.